Greetings, brothers and sisters. This is Bro.Elihu coming to you from Baltimore, Maryland. All right. I want to pose a question to you. All right. And the question is simply this. If God is not on the minds of the people, is he alive? Okay. And the answer is yes, of course he's alive. But if God is not on the minds of the people, all right, does he truly exist? Because he must exist through the consciousness of the people. He must exist through the ritual and practicing of his laws, okay? He must exist in the attitude and the behaviors of the people, okay? He must exist in the way that we interact with each other, okay? He must exist in the way that we look at one another, all right? For instance, Yeshua said, if you want to see God, look at your brother, okay? And if you want to serve God, serve your brother. Now, let's just take those two statements right there and apply them to how we interact and view each other in the present. And I'm talking specifically about us, black people, all right? Now, if you watch most reality-based programs, okay, and they pretty much have an accurate, you know what I'm saying? They pretty much coincide. What you see on the reality programs pretty much coincides with what's happening in the household, on the streets, all right? If you look at Maury, if you look at Steve Wilkos, what's the other one? Bill Cunningham, you know what I mean? Whenever you see black folk come together to resolve an issue or problem, you see yelling, okay? You see face-to-face like, basically like, you know, two opposing pit bulls, you know, held by their owners at the leash, and when they let them get up close, you know, and they like just trying to get at each other, you know what I'm saying? That's usually what you see take place, all right? I don't know where the yelling, where they, you know, they don't speak at normal level tones, you know, it could just be the individual and Maury talking like the opponent, the opposition, or the adversary hasn't even taken the stage yet, and you know, the individual, whether male or female, is speaking very loud in a high tone. You know what I mean? And just merely describing what the issue is. You know what I'm saying? All right. So we obviously have a poisoned view of how we even interact with one another. You know what I'm saying? You got brothers and sisters who pretty much walk the streets with a chip on each shoulder. You know what I mean? With the wish a nigga would, you know, idea just roaming through their mind. I wish a nigga would do this. I nigga wish it would do that. Why are you looking at me like that? You know, all kinds of little ill, crazy, psycho-sociopathic mentality bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that worries me the most about the shit is they will say that shit to an Asian. They will say that shit to a Hispanic. They will say that shit to a Hindu. They will say it to an Arab. But they won't ask white people, you know what I mean? You know, especially ones that have any kind of representation of being quote unquote authoritative, like a police officer. You know, you don't say to tell the police, the fuck is you staring at me for? Fuck is you looking at? You know? You don't do none of that shit. You don't do none of that shit. See? And that's where the evidence of you being a phony punk motherfucker, for one, is proven. The evidence of you being scared of white folk is proven, okay? The evidence of post-traumatic slave disorder is proven, although, motherfucker, you're like 6, 7 generations removed from the last slave in your family. You know what I mean? You would have to go 7 grandmothers. Most of you motherfuckers in your mid-teens to mid-20s will have to go back 7 7 grandmothers removed from 1865 when the last slave, you know what I mean? Your last grandparent was a slave. You know what I'm saying? But yet the fear, you know, keeping yourself in check when it comes to the cracker is still active. It's like nobody ever deleted the program or stopped the program or uninstalled the program. You know, just to put it in like, you know, modern day computer terms. You know what I mean? The program is still running. The app, let's call it an app, the slave app. You know what I mean? The slave app is still installed. It's still running. It hasn't been stopped, uninstalled, or deleted. You know what I mean? And like Dr. Claude Anderson says, man, before you can, you know, stop or remove or delete the shit, you have to first know how did that app get in place. Once you find out how the app got in place, then you can begin reverse engineering the app. You have to understand the inner workings of the app, okay? How it works, why it works. You know what I mean? And there's many, many reasons why the app works. You know, some of you are familiar with the Willie Lynch, you know what I mean, practice. Some of you are familiar with, I forget how to pronounce the shit, meritorious manumissions, okay? I posted it on Google Plus a couple of times, the full Merrimanis manumissions, okay, in which four key principles was applied in the slave earning freedom. You know what I mean? One was saving a white man's life, protecting the white man's property, inventing anything that a white man could make a profit off of. And the last one, and the most sinister, was snitching. Snitching on any kind of planned insurrection or revolt that you may come across. Okay, and this is what the white man, this is modern day social work. Social work is just simply having ears and eyes in the community. All right. This is what Google, Facebook, this is how they're now operating, although they wasn't intended to operate that in that manner when they were conceived and first put into motion. But now, you know, white supremacy has seen it as a valuable tool in having the eyes and the ears in the community, in which motherfucking niggers basically tell on themselves. Now, I'm not talking about, you know what I mean, speaking on how you think and believe, okay? That's just one thing, all right? But I'm talking about if you was to, you know, try to organize any kind of strategy to engage and to, you know, trip up or in fact, engage in a physical warlike manner, white supremacy on any level, it will pretty much be, you know, it will be spotted, reported, you know what I mean, and dismantled before you even get the shit off the ground, because Facebook and Google, they have employees, y'all. They have employees on here. They have employees who have set up communities, you know what I mean, and they try to make these communities as pro-black revolutionary as possible. You know what I mean? Because these are the communities that the rebellious type are going to come and flock towards. You know what I'm saying? I myself, anyone who has known me for about 6 months, you've seen me like take my shit down a large notch. You know what I mean? I was just pretty much running and gunning full throttle. You know what I'm saying? On just straight up anti-supremacy, anti-cracker, anti-beast. You know what I mean? Coming at that shit just like that. You know what I mean? I got suspended once. I've got about 3 threat letters from Google, you know, basically saying, nigga, you need to tone that shit down. You know what I mean? And then also, they screen everything I do. You know, any post I submit, man, takes way longer than the average post. If the average nigga was to post something on Google and shit, immediately once you hit the send button, you'll get a pop-up saying your post has been, you know, sent or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? My shit comes in maybe like fucking 4 to 5 minutes later. You know what I mean? I'm getting pop-ups that your post has been sent, you know, when I sent the shit 5 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? Which means it's been screened. You know what I mean? Or it'll say your post has been sent. Now when the shit is sent and posted, it says your post has been posted, sent and posted, or some shit like that. You know how the fuck it goes. You know, so my shit always get held up because I'm being censored, I'm being screened, and then at least, you know, I've got it now. It was like only like 50% of my shit was actually getting put through and actually posted. So if I send 10, 5 might make it. You know what I mean? But now I'm getting a better little higher ratio. I'm now maybe getting like 7 and 8 out of 10. And that's only because, you know what I mean, I try to mix shit up with a little bit of rap and hip hop issues and just not be solely on the, you know what I mean, fighting this cracker thing. You know what I mean? It's, you know the saying, kill him with kindness or baffle him with bullshit. You know what I mean? But, you know, Facebook, Chrome, YouTube, Google, you know, Google, well, let's say Google, YouTube, Chrome, all that shit, they all owned by Google. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, only reason I kind of tone the shit down is for just to have access to information. You know what I mean? Because really, for real, you know, the saying goes, you don't cast your pearls before swine. And that's really what the fuck you doing on there. Even if you posting anti-beast, anti-cracker meme. You know what I mean? Even just posting memes, if they have a certain type of tone or undertone, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty much telling, they can assess where your mindset is. You know what I mean? And then again, you know, if they connect dots and see, that's what I talk about research gathering. You know what I mean? Check multiple sources and cross-examine sources and shit like that. They can pretty much build a whole goddamn profile on your ass. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's what I mean about the value of collecting sources and references from all over. You know what I mean? What was his military record like? What was his high school record like? Was he suspended a lot in high school? You know, gauging the propensity or threat level of a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Does he has any assaults on his record against law enforcement? You know what I mean? These type of things. Does he has assault on just regular civilians? You know what I mean? Gauging the threat level, man. And that's what they always do. And like I told y'all before, here's an example of a low threat. Okay? White people make me sick. They always messing with black people for no reason. Low threat level, okay? Medium threat. I'm getting real sick of these white people and shit of these white police killing black people, man. We need to organize and start standing up and for our rights and everything so that we can, you know, help change some laws. Medium threat level, you know what I mean? Here's a high threat level. The next motherfucking time a cop put his hands on me, I'm gonna fuck his ass up. You know what I mean? I'm sick of this shit. The nigga better be able to fight, because I'm gonna put these hands on his ass. High threat level. Now I'm getting ready to show you maximum threat level. God told me that I need to go in there and arm myself and all my homeboys, and, you know, we're going to go to the police department and blase, 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 blah. You get what I'm saying? But you saying, God told me. That's the shit right there that will get your ass a maximum threat level. If you have any kind of mention of God in your shit, along with standing up against white supremacy, okay, along with retaliatory you know, accountability in your speech and in the way that you're going to carry yourself in your organization, you know, like on some Khaled Black Panther shit or some Huey Newton Black Panther shit, maximum threat level. Only the Huey Newton Black Panther shit was a high threat level, but it didn't have a God equation. You understand what I'm saying? Nat Turner, perfect example. Maximum fucking threat. This nigga said he was in the field reading hieroglyphics on the corn. And said he read on the corn that God said, nigga, go in the house and kill every motherfucker in there and don't leave alive not even one baby. Give you an example in the Bible, in the book of Samuel, when Samuel tells King Saul, God said, go over there and kill all them motherfuckers, right? And don't even leave alive one baby or even their livestock. Don't leave them motherfuckers alive. God told Samuel to tell Saul, kill all their ass, the babies, and the motherfucking livestock too. See what I'm saying? That's called maximum ultra threat level. And this is how they assess level threats, man. You understand what I'm saying? So, just to give you some similar idea like that. Yeah, I've heard the shit on YouTube and shit about, you know, these so-called color codes on mailbox. Man, fuck all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that shit. You know what I mean? No motherfuckers want a specific motherfucker, just like, you know, Warrant Apprehension Task Force. They gonna run off some Xerox copies and shit. They gonna hold a goddamn roll call, little meeting with the motherfuckers that's gonna come and retrieve your ass. You know how it go, you know, and they coming full force. They coming with the semi-automatic shit. You know, they coming with full body armor. You know what I mean? You seen the Waco shit. You know, you seen the Ruby Ridge shit. You know what I'm saying? You seen the what they did on the brothers in Philadelphia, the move. You know what I mean? You seen that shit. These motherfuckers was dropping bombs on the house from the sky. You did? And then when they set the house on fire by dropping bombs from helicopters and shit on the house, then they was already had the whole perimeter around. Listen, man. They went to the neighbors and told them, get the fuck out the house, right? Get the fuck out the house. So if you got any neighbors cool with you, you need to first put them on red alert and get them your number. You know what I mean? Like, look, man, I'm real heavily active in this shit. And, you know, if they ever try to make a move on me or shit, or if motherfuckers ever come to the house and tell you need to leave out for any reason, because they will use what I call crisis creation. They will create a crisis. So they may tell your neighbor, we got a gas leak in the block. So you tell your neighbor, if them motherfuckers ever come and say it's a gas leak on the block, whatever, man, call me and give me a heads up. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to get them motherfuckers out the house by any means necessary so they can make a move on that ass. And see, this is why I keep telling y'all, man, that you need to start studying past and present models, man. You niggas ain't studying, man. You niggas ain't putting in work. You know what I'm saying? You niggas ain't putting enough work, man. Niggas ain't putting in enough work for real. And if you're going to have an organization, man, you can't just have that shit wide open to the community. You have to grab, you know, start off, man, small with 2 or 3 brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? You know, pick a number. You know, I suggest a divine number. You know, usually most divine numbers are prime numbers. 1, 3, 7, you know what I mean? 13, shit like, you know, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You need prime numbers. I like the number 13, you know? It's the number 12, you know what I mean? Which signifies the 12 disciples. Well, the 12 disciples, and then the 13th disciple, which was Mary Magdalene, you know? His wife. Jesus did. Yeshua had 2 wives, contrary to, you know, white Euro, homeopathic, you know, their little anti-woman shit they got going in their history. You know, they feel that the greatest love to be made is between man and not man and woman. So, you know, they painted the sister as a whore and all that shit, and she was none of that. You know what I mean? It's no historical proof to prove that she was no whore, no harlot, none of that shit. Yeshua was very fond of her. In fact, he held her more closer to him, and he trusted her more than the other 12 brothers. And they were often very jealous of her. You know what I mean? Why is she here? She's a woman. You know, because a lot of the old Tanakh Levitical laws, you know, are more, they hard on women. I ain't gonna lie. You know, even the Quranic laws, which ain't nothing but some modified Levitical laws. You know what I mean? Most of them are same and ain't even modified. But then you have certain slight modifications in it. You know what I mean? Where they've been changed slightly. You know what I'm saying? They took away the lineage birthright from the mother and gave it to the father. Because prior to that, you know, you were Jew, you were Hebrew through your mother's bloodline, not the father's. So once you get to the Bible, you hear, you know, and Jesse begat, you know, and Boaz begat Jesse, and Jesse begat David, and David begat Solomon. See, they running it down to you from the father's bloodline. This is when they changed the shit. Because prior to that, you know, you were Hebrew through your mother's bloodline. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, this is just nothing but a little fireside chat. You know what I mean? I just want y'all to have the contemplate shit a little bit more, and it's time to start really preparing ourselves more better. We need to start linking up, and not just be. We need to start linking up beyond Google Plus in the comments and the posts. If you got two brothers or sisters, you know what I mean, get three, man. That y'all know y'all have each other's phone number, man. You know what I'm saying? That y'all can talk by way of hangouts, but y'all can really just talk on like landline phones. You know what I'm saying? Landline phones. And at least once a week, man, y'all need to have, you know, a 30-minute meeting time and day that y'all, for 30 minutes, y'all meet and y'all get on the three-way, man. Landline three-ways, okay? Landline three ways, not mobile phone three ways, landline three ways. So you say look, man, check it out. Every Sunday at, you know, 1 p.m. or every Sunday, you know, at 4 p.m., you know, I have a three-way, the other brother has a three-way, or I have a three-way and the sister has a three-way. So, you know what I mean? I'll call, you know, one dude, and then I'll click over and call the sister who has another three-way, and then she'll click over, you know, and she'll call the other brother, and then now y'all have a 4 or 5-way conversation. You know what I'm saying? That's not on wireless communication. You did, which makes it much more harder to trace. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then you know, like in gang shit and all that, man, you have to like come up with certain codified words, man, but they have to be properly disguised. I prefer, instead of coding up words, you code up entire sentences, which make it much harder. You know what I mean? You have to really start thinking. You cannot be lazy-minded, man, when organizing, man. You know what I mean? Because it's their job, man, to break codes and shit like that. You know what I mean? And you have to start switching up and staying ahead, and you must think 2, 3 moves ahead at all times, man. Always, when you make the first move, you already have to know the reactionary move of your opponent. You know what I mean? It's like shooting pool or playing chess. You know what I mean? When you shoot pool to knock the ball in, but also to set up the next shot. That's how you control the cue. You must control the cue. Where you want that cue ball to end up after it knocks that ball in the hole. I need that motherfucker to then spin and roll over there by that motherfucking 6 ball, because I'm going to knock that in next. Then I'm going to, you know, knock that 6 ball in, and then I need to bring that motherfucker back over here to that 2 ball so I can knock that in. You know what I mean? You got to always think like that. That's how you clear a table. That's how you clear out motherfuckers. You know what I mean? That's how you maximize the desired result without any waste, man, because you can't have a lot of waste. You know what I'm saying? You can't train on just handheld weapons like guns and shit like that, because, man, they are putting in place all kind of mechanisms to make it nearly impossible for you to obtain ammunition. So you really need to have your body as in sharp condition as your weapons, man. You need to learn motherfucking hand-to-hand combat, knife combat, sword combat, machete combat. You need to learn all that shit, man. You need to learn all that shit, because as you move along, man, you can acquire weapons as you move from place to place and place to place and place, because often you're going to have to travel light. You know what I'm saying? You know, think about all that shit, man. You know, and check out these prepper sites online too also. You know what I mean? How to prepare yourself. Right now, let me see if I can give y'all a little shot of some of my water stash. Let's see. That right there is about, I don't know how good the light is, but that's probably about close to 30. Close to about, maybe about 22. That's about 22 half gallons right there, just underneath that one cabinet of water. You know what I mean? Under here, let's see. See, it's very dark in there. Let me see if I can turn this goddamn light on. But up under here, man, you got about that's pretty smaller than I thought it was. But under there, you got maybe about 40 canned goods. But I got a main stash that I will not show you right now on this camera. You know, that's in the closet. You know what I'm saying? That's with it, you know, in the closet. But you got to start stashing your non-perishable food items, man. Your water and all that shit, man. You know, you got to start getting on your shit, man, for real. You know, because they're going to starve out the first motherfucking group of people. You know what I mean? They're going to starve you out. And like I said, they'll even go as far as bombing and burning your shit. And like I said, remove people when they did drop them bombs on them. Then they had the perimeter surrounded. When the little kids and the people ran out the front door, the back door, into the alleys, they shot them and killed them. You know what I mean? Go on these sites and find out how to make your own body armor. You know what I mean? You can do that shit, man. You can do that shit, you know? You can sew between two goddamn hoodies, you know what I mean, certain materials in which you then put the hoodie on, man, and it can protect your chest and shit like that. You know what I mean? You know? So, you know, find how to do that shit, man. How to buy Kevlar. You know what I mean? Find out where you can purchase Kevlar, man. And layer that shit inside of hats and shit. It could be a scully. So that at least a headshot, man, it might crack your skull once the bullet hit it. You know what I'm saying? But it won't go into the brain. It may put a hole in your motherfucking brain, you know what I mean? But it won't hit the brain to cause death. You know what I'm saying? And the hole ain't a bad thing because it will provide a spot for the blood to leak out of. It's when you start hemorrhaging inside your head and the blood has no escape. Because when you get a hemorrhage, man, you're supposed to drill a hole through your fucking skull so you can let the blood come out. Because your brain will begin to swell from a burst blood vessel in your goddamn head. And that's how you relieve a hemorrhage. You know what I mean? You have to actually put a hole in the skull so the blood can leak out. You know what I mean? To alleviate the pressure of the brain swelling and pressing up against the skull. You understand what I'm saying? So that's another thing, man. You learn first aid survival. Learn how to eat off the land. What leaves you can eat. What berries you can eat. What grasses you can eat. What dandelions you can eat. What mushrooms you can eat. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to purify water. You know, they got iodine capsules you can put in water, stream water, to help, you know, kill the germs that's in it. You know what I'm saying? Because you may not always have access to boiling the water. You know what I mean? Learn how to run water through like pantyhose and shit. At least strain the water from some of the shit, you know, but smaller bacteria will still get through. You know what I mean? But as you begin to drink like water from streams and shit, over time, you'll begin to build, if only small amounts of bacteria getting in you, you can begin to build up, you know, a good immunity to it. You may experience diarrhea and shit like that in the beginning, but I guarantee you, after about a month of drinking that shit, it ain't gonna be no harm to you. Believe that shit. That's the beauty of the body. You know what I mean? So this just Bro.Elihu, man, just popping off a little food for thought, you know, giving brothers and sisters some things to contemplate about. Because you have to contemplate a whole lot of things, man, as we approach the 0 hour and the go point. And Steve Cokie always said, know the fucking go point. You know what I mean? The go point. The point where you got to say, okay, shit's getting real heavy. You don't want to wait till they imply curfews and shit like that. You know what I mean? And you know they going door to door disarming motherfuckers and shit. You supposed to be able to know what time it is prior to that point where you remove the weapons from the house and you go and you bury them somewhere. Bury them in different locations. This is location A. From location A, I can work my way to location B. And location B might be 5-10 miles from here. You know what I mean? And then you need ammunition spots along the way. So I have a shotgun buried in location A. In between location A and location B, I have 2 more points where I have 10 shells buried in one spot, another 10 shells buried in another spot. You know what I mean? Then I get to location B, in which I have another weapon there. You know what I mean? Shit like that, man. Shit like that. If my home, right, is the bullseye, right, and I'm gonna start building me an escape pattern, an escape route, starting from my home and working my way outward, north, south, east, and west on the perimeter of places that I've already designated as safe spots. So if I have to, if west and south is cut off, then that means I need to flee northeast. You understand what I'm saying? And northeast, I have 5 or 10 shells buried at this spot, 5 and 10 shells buried at that spot. And then eventually I can make it to that designated safe spot in the northeast area. You know what I mean? Now, if I have to flee southwest, you know what I'm saying? I have 10 shells here, or you know what I'm saying? So just here buried, and only I know where they are. Put them in plastic, man. A little plastic bag, tied in a little knot and shit. Bury the shit on the ground, man. You know where the fuck it's at. Nobody else need to know, but you know where the fuck it's at. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you just have to think and prepare yourself. If you're a diabetic, okay, I have bottle of insulin here and a syringe. I have a bottle of insulin here and a syringe along with the shells. You know what I mean? I also have 6-7 pills of my blood pressure medicine. You know, I got a little bag with 6-7 shells, my insulin, and I fill one syringe up with insulin, and I have that there. So you can take one bottle of insulin and fill up maybe what? 10, 15 syringes and bury them in designated spots along with the shells, along with any pill medication that you take. You know what I'm saying? Because if you take, most people that take pill medication have a surplus. You know what I'm saying? Have a surplus. And you have to think like that, man. What good is it if you go on a run and shit and you got weapons and a little bit of food, but you ain't even bring the medication you needed? You ain't gonna make it no goddamn way. They gonna find your ass dead with a goddamn shotgun around your back and a machete in your holster. You know what I'm saying? Leaning up a goddamn tree and you done died of fucking diabetic shock. You know what I mean? Because you didn't bring your diabetes medicine or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So you have to, man, dot all your I's and cross your T's, man. You know, stop being lazy-minded, man. You have to put the phone down sometimes, brother. You know what I mean? You can't just post memes all goddamn day and talk shit all goddamn day. You have to do some things, man, to prepare yourself, you know? Because, you know, the war may not just necessarily be engaging the cracker with you know, weapons and hand-to-hand combat. The war may be simply you trying to reach a designated spot in which, you know what I mean, you can live a year or a few months, you know what I'm saying, and until, you know, the main part of the war happens and shit. Let them knock each other off first and get some of them goddamn numbers down. What you, like I told y'all before, it's no need to fight a fucking army when you know key individuals get. That's why they always go after your leaders and try to buy your leaders, see? There's no need to control 40 million black people if you can control the motherfuckers who got influence amongst the 40 million black people. You see what I'm saying? Khaled's mistake was once he got a certain amount of influence, you see what I'm saying? That's when they came after his ass. They do it with all of them. They once you get a certain amount, even when Yeshua, when he got a certain amount of influence, what happened? Satan came to tempt him. And the last offer he made him was what? Money, power, and respect. But Yeshua told him beat it. See, that's why I love the Bible. And you niggas that be knocking the Bible and shit, man, the lessons in there are priceless. Because that same lesson right there, if Khaled knew it, you know, if like Marion Barry, King, Farrakhan, they all, when they reached a certain level of influence, they all got a visit from Satan. Farrakhan got the visit after he got 1 million niggas in Washington, D.C. They say, oh, the nigga has a lot of influence. You know what I mean? This nigga put out a call and they actually answered it. Now, I know they took it for a joke, but when the niggas start showing up, Congress shut down, the House shut down, and they got the fuck out of town. You see? And a little few days later, a sit-down was made with them. You feel me? We don't need to control all the niggas. We just need to control this nigga who control the niggas. You dig? And we're going to offer him everything. We're going to offer him money, influence, power. Jesse did it. And they'll sell you out for that shit. Jesse did it on Martin, you know? Jesse had a little influence. He didn't have as much as Martin. But Martin was starting to become a goddamn problem. You know, whereas before Martin did what the fuck he was told, he was starting to hesitate and start questioning. He started asking questions instead of just saying, okay, and doing it. See? He started asking questions and start refusing some shit. You did. And he had influence on the people. In fact, Martin had so much influence, if he told people to fight, they would have fought. They would have fought. You did. And the white man looks out for these type of individuals. See? I'm no threat, because no matter what, the things that I say or whatever, enough people not paying me no mind. You know what I'm saying? But I admit, I'm not out there full throttle every day in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I've done that shit before, and I became real popular in Baltimore. Okay? But still, I saw and I recognized very early and knew that if these niggas was to kill me, these, the people ain't gonna, what I'm saying? They're gonna return, things will return back to the old ways within 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So then I had to start contemplating, okay, well, what other way can I do some good without just sacrificing my life for nothing? You know what I mean? Because I don't mind the sacrificing my life part, but I do mind sacrificing my life. And then after I'm dead, y'all don't say in honor of the brother. If we on page 2 in honor of the brother, let's go to page 3. Like when Khalid died, the reason why his son is now a sellout, he ain't Farrakhan no more. He's Farah, some little gay sounding shit. And he ain't even Muhammad no more. He didn't change his last name. When they killed Khalid, everybody was looking at the wife. Well, sister, what do you want to do? They was waiting to hear the wife say, let's keep fighting. Okay? But instead, she got scared, man. She was around at the time when Malcolm, got killed. You feel what I'm saying? And she knew how crudball and sinister Farrakhan could be, and she knew how crudball and sinister the government could be. Okay? So she basically said, I had enough of this shit. You know what I mean? And she wanted to flee. You know what I'm saying? She wanted to flee. And Khalid, the mistake he made was he tried to groom his son to be his successor when the boy was too young. Okay? It's no problem grooming him to grow up and be strong, but you can't groom him to be the successor when you already receiving death threats and you had 2 death attempts on you already, and the boy is only fucking 6 years old, 7 years old and shit. It's too many years that had to go. He had to know that he was close to being knocked off. You know what I mean? Because he wasn't letting up at all. You know what I mean? He was on that cracker, full throttle. You dig what I'm saying? So even an actor has an understudy in case the actor gets sick or ill. You know what I mean? He has an understudy because the main thing is the show must go on. And that's what Khalid failed to put certain things in place to ensure that if I die, will the show be able to go on? And all our leaders made that same mistake. See, that's why I say, man, you have to study past and present models first, man. If you're going to make an organization, you know what I mean, to do something, you can't just go off on the idea you have. You have to study past models, okay? That pretty much people who did things along the lines that you want to do. Look at Garvey and what he did. He organized fucking 20 million people worldwide. He had organized 5 million here. Nobody since, no black man since has organized that many people yet. You dig? I don't even think Farrakhan got 5 million followers. I know he don't. Because it's only 40 million black people. You dig? And 5 million would be damn near a 10th of us. He ain't got no 10th of the black population. You know what I'm saying? You don't. That's saying for every 10 people, he got 1 of black people. And he ain't got that many. He got that many. He may have about 1.3 million. And that number might be even smaller since he pulled this little Dianetic shit. You know? Now he selling goddamn $8,000 courses, Dianetic courses to his own people. You know, the poorest people who can afford that shit the least. But they go ahead and buy the course because the minister endorsed it. Because the minister said so. You know, to some people, man, that's a goddamn house. You know, or a car. You know what I'm saying? How dare you fucking ask your people, man, to pay $8,000 for this crackers course? Whose sponsor was the goddamn Crowley Beast character, which makes him Farrakhan's grand sponsor. You understand that shit, y'all? You know? I don't even call Louis Farrakhan no more. I call the nigga Louis Gossett. Louis Gossett was the man that played fiddler in Roots. Old ass-kissing Bojangle nigga. You know? Doing anything to please the cracker. Because black folk found out that an easy way to keep this white man's whip off my back and this boot from out my ass was to make him smile and laugh. You know? And that's what they start doing. You know, dancing and smiling, showing teeth and, you know, acting a goddamn clown and buffoon. And before you know it, I see this nigga is now, playing fiddle for some goddamn Jews in some kind of concert. And not only that, he had a Jew bitch fucking train him for 6 months. This the same nigga, that called that Jewish religion the gutter religion. You dig? So what the fuck happened between that and this, Farrakhan? What the fuck happened? I'll tell you what happened. You know what I mean? The Million Man March fucking happened. Okay? And that's when they recognized his power. They invited him to a sit down because he never was against them. He just wanted in. He just wanted in because he has a love for money. He ain't nothing but a prosperity preacher on the Islamic side as opposed to the Christian side. But it's the same format. And see, once they do buy you and make a little agreement with you, they don't mind you to keep talking shit about them because they are fine with the knowing that they own you. In fact, they'll tell you, keep talking the shit. Keep the motherfucking facade going. Step it up a notch, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? That's what they do. You feel me? See, they not going to blow his cover, man. They not going to blow his cover. In the Protocols of Zion, they say we don't want the front stage. We don't want the presidencies and the in front of the camera. We just want to own the motherfuckers who are in front of the camera and who the presidents. We just want to be able to pick them and own them and tell them what the fuck to do. They say they don't want the spotlight. They just want to own the motherfuckers that are in the spotlight. Read the Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion. Don't just know about this shit. Read the shit, man. I don't know what kind of work you niggas are putting in. I hear a lot of y'all talk a lot of good shit. You know what I'm saying? But then a lot of the shit that y'all say out your mouth just be like, what the fuck is that? That's not, the deal. That's not the deal at all. You know what I mean? And last but not least, man, the brothers out there who I asked you in the beginning of this lecture, if God is not on the minds of the people, then is he alive? You know what I mean? Now you got a lot of brothers talking this atheist shit. Real black atheists and all this kind of shit. You know what I mean? And these motherfuckers like now I'm God. This I'm God shit. You know what I mean? And this is all the deception of the devil. For he told Eve in the garden, he say, the devil goes up to Eve and say, did God tell you couldn't eat from this tree? Eve say, he said that we can eat of all the trees in the garden except for this one. For if we do, we shall surely die. Satan lies. Did he tell you that? Look, man, check this out. You ain't going to die. For he knows that the day that you eat of the tree, that your eyes will be open and you shall be a god. See what I'm saying? Lied to her. And she bought that shit. And that's the deception these brothers are giving you with this you are God concept. Okay? You know what I mean? Ain't no God up there. Have you seen him? Have you touched him? You know what I mean? Has he done any miracles? Nah, man, you the God. And then they flip to the famous scriptures. Is it not written that all of you are gods? Okay? And that's taken totally out of text. You know what I'm saying? It means that all of you are gods, and the fact that God made you in his image and likeness. He took a portion of his light, a portion of his glory to make you. You understand what I'm saying? And like I told you, man, you're like, you got to know the difference between truth, man, and reality. You see, truth is based on derivative. My truth, your truth, her truth, his truth. Okay? Meaning it varies. Okay? It's not consistent. Okay? But reality is non-derivative. It doesn't vary. It's dead on, absolute, all the time. Give you an instance. If 20 of us was on a bus and the motherfucker stood up and blew a nigga brains out and the police asked all of us, to tell them what happened, they may get fucking 10 different versions of the story. Okay? But each one who told their version believed they telling the truth. Okay? So that's variance. Derivative, okay? But reality would be the video camera, okay? And it's going to show you the absolute thing of what happened, and there will be no variance. It will be non-derivative. So you niggas keep chasing truth, you're going to be all over the motherfucking place. Like a chicken with his head cut off. You dig? In your search for goddamn truth. Because all the sources you come across that sound good as a motherfucker, You know what I mean? They all going to be derivative, variations of one particular thing. Now, here's how you find it, though. You have to cross-examine all of it and seek what I call that golden thread of truth. What are the things that coincide with each other that they all seem to agree on happen? And those little small things are the veins of truth that you have to, like a detective, seek out. Then you put all them together. And based on that, you can make then what's called a hypothesis or educated guess. Now, if you're dealing with forensics or any kind of science, you can then from that point do an experiment, right? Which will kind of validate your hypothesis, right? But if you're not dealing in any kind of scientific element and you're dealing strictly from here, right? Then what you're going to have to do is seek out more references, seek out more sources. You understand what I'm saying? Perhaps re-question the individuals and see if you can get any extra thing that they may have left out. You know what I mean? Shit like that, man. And that's how you got to, the same way you got to do in solving a murder, you got to do in finding the truth, man, about who the fuck you are, what's really going on. Is there a God? Isn't there a God? And if he is he alive? He made a covenant with you, man, that he will not break. It is us, man, who strayed from him. It is us who keep breaking the laws. It is us that he keep having mercy on, man. It is us that the angels surround him, keep singing praises to him and telling him to spare us. Because he wanted to do us away a second time, but he made a promise to Noah that he would not do it. You understand? Until the appropriate time. And that time is when he take the beast out. Okay? Even Martin Luther King said, I've been to the mountain and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. God took him to the mountain and showed him the promised land, showed him New Jerusalem, showed him post-apocalyptic, earth. After he had kicked the devil's ass and after they had been totally wiped out, he showed them, and there was a new heaven and a new earth, and the former things have passed away. You understand? He let Martin see that. That's why he said, I've been to the mountain and I've seen the promised land. But he knew he was going to die. He says, but I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get there because God told him and promised him that. And that was his consolement. That was his consolement to go on and stay the course and don't weary. You see? Because he knew he was close to dying. Same thing happened to Yeshua as he's carrying the cross to his execution. He said, Lord, he said, my spirit is willing, but my flesh is weak. If it be in thy will, let this cup pass me over. You understand that? He was saying, I don't want to die today, Lord. But if I have to, I will. Because I love black people. That's what he was saying. Stop taking this Bible for a joke, man. And stop letting these suckers out here, man, and letting Satan in this new age bullshit tell you that the Bible is garbage, it's not valid, and that there ain't no God, that the only God is you. The only one who can change your circumstances is you. And that's true to an extent. But also, like in the Holy Quran, it says, right? Jesus said this in the Holy Bible. I on my own accord can do nothing. I am not greater than he who sent me. Ain't that what he said? I on my own accord can do nothing. I am not greater than he who sent me. He said, I do the will of the Father who is in heaven. That's what he said. That's what he said. He said, for thy kingdom come, for thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Thy means your. He said, God, for your kingdom come and your will shall be done on earth as it is in heaven. He didn't say his will. He said God's will. He said, holy be thy name, meaning holy be your name, Lord. He didn't say holy be my name, it's thy name. Our Father who is where in heaven. He didn't say inside of him. He said in heaven. He said, holy be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. He even tells the Lord, asks the Lord, give me this day my daily bread. Right? Come on, man. So he never claimed to be Christ. Not saying, Eli, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? I do the will of the Father. I on my own accord can do nothing. I am not greater than he who sent me. You understand that? He was speaking of two Yeshuas. He was speaking of the higher self and the lower Yeshua. The higher self was the spiritual Yeshua, who was there with God in the beginning. Okay? The monogene. Okay? The Word. You understand that? Who created all things. But then, remember, he was reborn again through the Immaculate Conception. Okay? And that's where he became the physical Yeshua, the earthly Yeshua, which was nothing but what? It was a reflection of the higher self. Okay? Made physical, made manifest. It was spirit made manifest. It was the reflection. And the reflection of the spiritual world is called falsehood, basically. It's a distortion of the image of highness, of the image of truth. See, if you get in that Aquarian gospel, right? You get in that Aquarian gospel, right? It'll say like this. You know, truth is falsehood is what truth is not. Falsehood is a reflection of truth distorted by the murky ethers of the flesh. Once you get into the ethers of the flesh, or the ether slowing down and not moving as fast of a vibratory rate, then the ethers begin to take on a fleshly God. And they move. So a fast vibrational ether is invisible. But if that ether was to slow down its vibration to near nothingness, it'll start slowly appearing. You know what I mean? Taking on a physical form, right? And if it damn near stops all vibration, it becomes the flesh or physical. So whatever you're dealing with, and there, remember, there are 7 Elohim, okay? Okay, you have man, God, earth, plant, beast, protoplast, cherubim, and seraphim. So if you're dealing with, let's say, this wooden countertop, right? This is a ether of earth, because wood comes from the earth. And when that earth ether vibrates slowly and slowly and slowly, right, to hardly nothingness, now it has physical attribute and physical appearance. You can touch it, you know, see it, and all of that. And that's basically how it goes. Now, if you could speed up the vibration of the ethers and the atoms of this wood, it would then take on an invisible form. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? It's so much to learn in the fucked up thing. See, when you show me a nigga, man, that believes in that atheism shit, that there is no God and that he God, I can tell you one thing. I can tell you a couple things. One is he ain't study shit. Another thing is he really don't know shit, because only the naive and one who hasn't learned enough only buys into that shit. You see what I'm saying? Because Jesus was well learned. And when Satan came at him with them little weak ass doctrines, he, you know, shut that shit down real fast and easy. Satan first offers him when he comes to tempt him, because remember, he began to have influence over the people, right? First, the people was coming to hear John speak. The crowds was coming out to hear Jesus' cousin John speak. They never saw Jesus, but the multitudes was coming to hear John. And John was telling them shit like, man, when my cousin come, you think, you know, y'all digging me, but when my cousin come on the scene, man, I'm not worthy to lace up his heels, you know? So Jesus comes on the scene, right? And John goes, here he go, y'all. Here go my cousin I was telling y'all about. Here's the one I was telling y'all I ain't worthy to lace up his heels. Y'all think I'm bad? Wait till you hear this, brother, right? And then, you know, Jesus tells John to baptize him. And John goes, baptize you, you know, because you're the Christ. You know what I'm saying? You should be baptizing me. And Jesus said, it is our duty to fulfill all righteousness. Man, I love the book, man. Love the book. You just need a teacher to teach you the book like I had a teacher that taught me the book. To put it in layman's terms, man. To help you know that these are your people talking. This ain't no, you know, so ancient people that they're some kind of myth or legend, man. These are real people who experience real life issues and problems, man. Just like you are today. They had the same problems then that you had today. hating ass niggas. I can show you all examples in that. Money hungry preachers. You know, I can show you all examples of that. Corrupt government. I can show you all examples of that. Slutty ass women that was setting niggas up. You know, I can show you shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Niggas who were screwing other niggas' wives. I can show you shit like that. It's all in there, man. Ain't nothing changed or nothing new under the sun, Solomon said, man. You know? So stop disassociating yourself or acting like they were different from you in some type of way. Only fucking thing different, man, is the date. But the mindset is the same. Them niggas was corrupt and doing all kinds of dumbass shit and perversion shit that they're doing right now. And that's exactly why they broke the covenant and lost their birthright with God. And that's the reason why God stayed silent for so long lately. You know what I mean? Because prior to that, he was interacting with man on a regular basis. But they kept on breaking the covenant, kept breaking the covenant. So that's why you'll see no miracles happen no more. That's why you won't hear no voice of God speak to you direct no more. Because he told you. Everything he told you in there, nigga, has came to light. How dare you try to discredit and act like, you know, that shit ain't there and ain't real. He told you was going to be cast into prisons and all that shit. He told you was going to be taken to a land that is not yours for 400 years. He told you every fucking thing that was going to happen to your black asses. You know what I mean? He told you every goddamn thing. They can't predict the fucking weather more accurate than that goddamn Bible when it comes to telling you what the fuck was going to go down. You know what I mean? You niggas are so caught up in the superficial bullshit of the book. You know, who wrote it, well, this, that, and the other and shit. And you overlooking the treasures of the book, which are the lessons in the book to help you, you know what I mean, not make the mistakes of your predecessors, to help you try to get back on track based on the examples it gives you as to what works and what didn't fucking work to your ancestors in the past. Their life was a living testament, okay, for you so that you may live. Do you understand what the fuck I just said? Their life was a living testament for you so that you can live. Okay? That book is full of the testament of your ancestors, the do's and don'ts of their goddamn mistakes and successes. Alright? Alright. Now I hit an hour on this motherfucker right here, something I never ever did. But I don't know how. But all praise is due to Allah. You know? Who is in heaven, man, and know for surety that God has truly loved you, Israel. Okay? And he will never stop loving you. For he chose you as his people. Alright? And he made a covenant, man. He made an agreement that he will not break. You will before, but he won't. You understand that? No matter how much you do, he will not break the covenant. But he also set up an appointed date, though, in which you shall be judged. All right? Now, think that's a joke. How you going to not believe in the judgment, you know what I mean, of Yisrael, of the Yisrael God, you know what I mean? Elah, Allah, you know, Yahweh, you know what I mean? How you not going to believe in him, but you believe in Osiris? You believe in the Duat, which is basically the judgment in the afterlife, Kemetic style. How you going to believe in that? You know what I'm saying? When it's the same thing, man, the Hebrew people came out of Israel. You know what I'm saying? I think it's Amos 3:9. Are you not children of Ethiopia and Israel? Are you not children of Ethiopia and Egypt unto me, O Israel? Now, Valley Civilization, man, the migratory route from Uganda up the Nile into Egypt, through Nubia into Egypt. Then from Egypt, our people went to El Armana when they broke away from the priest class of the Amen, because they had corrupted the Amen. All right? They broke away to El Armana. All right? And then when Akhenaten died, some of them fled back to Memphis to go back to serving the God, the Amen. Okay? But then some of them wanted to come back And they wanted Pharaoh to set them apart some different land because they was having it a hard time in Elmana. They was away from the Nile. They wasn't along the Nile Valley. They were southeast of the Nile Valley, of the Nile and the river. Okay? And there was no other free land that they could occupy. See? All the other land that was along the Nile Valley was taken already. So they went back home to see what could they negotiate a piece of land from Pharaoh. And that's where you see the big showdown take place as far as Moses, and the priests of Pharaoh. See, Pharaoh said, okay, you know, if you can beat my man, you know what I'm saying, I'll break you off a piece of land. And of course, we know he lost, and Pharaoh was a sore loser, right? After he lost, he was a sore loser, and then after he loses, he tells them, you know, kill them motherfuckers. I'm not giving them shit. Kill them motherfuckers. So we know that Moses, starts setting plagues against his house. You know, the flies, the grasshoppers. You know the story. You know the story. And then he took his firstborn son. All right? And that's when they say, fuck that, you know, go round all the motherfuckers up. After the son got killed, they said, round all the motherfuckers up, we're going to kill them. And that's when they fled east to the Red Sea, you know. Now, you remember, man, if you know your Bible, back then, anything on the other side of motherfucking the Euphrates was full of giants and shit. You had the Anakims, who were the descendants of the Anunnaki. You had some Anakims that was sitting on the throne of Israel. Listen, a lot of the pharaohs were giants, man. Anunnakis were giants. Now, the reason why I say that we are the descendants of the Anunnaki is because they used part of their DNA to create us. You understand that? And then we know that Enki and then Lil became Enki became Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? The so-called God of Israel. Or the other way around, I think Enlil might have became Yahweh. Enki became El. Or I might got it vice versa. Enlil became El and Enki was Yahweh or whatever. You know what I mean? But, you know, it's just how the shit goes, man. So we end up fleeing east, man, and we fled to the region of the giants. You know what I mean? And it is there, you know, where you had a whole lot of giant races and shit like that. They were common. And we know that giants were pretty much the seed of angelic beings having sex with, you know, earthly women. And they bore giants. And a lot of them were kings. They made themselves kings. Nimrod. Og was a king of one of them, of Bashir. He was a king of Bashir. But all that little region, Bashir, Akkad, all these places were inhabited and ruled by giants, man. You know? By giants. And this mighty nation of Israel, guided by a most high and most righteous God, right? Maneuvered his people to conquer and take that whole region and dethrone all of these giant kings, and the land was given to them, a land of milk and honey, okay? But God never fought no battle for them. He didn't fight the battle of Jericho for Joshua. He just gave Joshua direction and faith and courage. You know, they had to do the actual hand-to-hand bloody combat themselves. He never fought a battle for David. He gave David direction, courage, and faith. He didn't fight none of the battles for Saul, but Saul kicked much ass. He gave them direction, faith, and courage. He didn't fight none of the battles for Matthias Maccabees or his son Judas Maccabees, but he gave them courage, direction. You understand that shit? So God ain't gonna do no fighting for you, man. He ain't. He will give you faith. He will give you direction. But you're going to have to get out here and engage these motherfuckers, man. And you can't engage with your goddamn hands up like my nigga CK say. Fuck is the hands up shit all about? They ain't nothing but photo ops. Photo ops ain't revolution. Demonstrations aren't revolution. You hear what they say? We're holding a demonstration. Fuck a demonstration. Fuck a demonstration. Demonstration mean, nigga, you done called the goddamn media and invited them to be there for a photo opportunity. That's all the fuck that is. Lights, camera, action, motherfuckers. Individuals getting their ego stroked. And as long as the white man and the opponent or adversary see shit like that, he ain't worried about you niggas. Or they just want to demonstrate. Yeah, we all for the demonstrate piece. Knock yourself out, nigga. Go ahead and let me see you dance on that wall, nigga. Go demonstrate. You know, because all you is a coon dancing buffoon. I don't care about that shit, man. Because when you want to plan a full revolution, you ain't sending out no fucking media invites. See? See? We need we need revolution, man. Not demonstration. Fuck demonstration, revolution, man. You know? And that's all about deception, man. War is a game of deception, man. You got to know that shit, man. Burn my goddamn muffin. Yeah, that motherfucker hard as a brick. I give that to the birds. Break them up, give them to the birds. Not a thing is lost, right? For he who take care of the least of my brothers, take care of me also. You know? So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, man. Get some breakfast in me, man. This has been a little fireside chat from your brother, man, Elihu. Greater love has no man than he lay down his life for his brother. Okay? And I truly will lay my life down for yours, man. You know? And you ain't got to do the same for me. You feel me? Because everything I do out of my heart, righteously. I do not do with expectation of you reciprocating the gesture or none of that shit. You know, if a motherfucking guy comes up to me and say, oh, brother, you got a dollar, I want to get some eat. I don't give a fuck if he go buy a goddamn nickel or crack with the shit. You know what I mean? My honor is in the giving, man. The fact that I gave is the honor and integrity in that. And integrity simply means doing the right thing for the right reason, man. I've received all my blessings throughout my life by just practicing two principles, right? I will always acknowledge God and give him the honor, respect, and the glory, number one. And number two, I will try to operate with integrity to the best of my ability for the rest of my life. I will always do the right thing. If a motherfucker drop a 20 out his pocket in front of me, I'm going to say, brother, you dropped your money. I've always done that. No, always. And my pockets could be on E. And I'm going to do it, though. You know what I mean? Because that's not mine. And God knows what that man went through to get that 20 or what plans he may have for that 20 to help someone, you know? All right, man. I can go on and on and on, but I just hope that, man, this has been some kind of, you know, I don't know, help, or maybe it made someone's day or something, you know? But I love y'all, brothers and sisters, man. You know, if you should ever need a friend, I will always be your friend, and I will always be there for you, brothers and sisters. All right? Always. Okay? It's never too late nor too early. If you need someone to talk to, I'm there. All right? And you know how to reach me. Okay? It's God is Black 555 at gmail.com. That's God is Black 555 at gmail.com. All right? This has been Bro.Elihu L. All praises due to the Most High God. You know, for without whom I am nothing. Shalom.